Alright, welcome to the next Haruhi Suzumiya reading. I have my notes here, page 46. I fiercely held out South Faust Hina. So, I just read a bit there. So, we're talking about, what was it, filming their daily life? Yeah, fiercely held out Hina. And from an objective point of view, I think that self-satisfaction would be important in itself. Besides, Asahina's daily life would actually be considered quite eccentric. But I'll keep my mouth shut. As the director representing the SOS Brigade, I decided to provide quality entertainment. Just you watch. Every single member of the audience will be on their feet in a standing ovation. Upon closer look, I noticed that Haruhi's armband had changed from chief to director at some point. She sure was prepared. As I watched the female director getting excited by herself, the female lead getting depressed, and the male lead standing back smiling enigmatically like a bystander. I was wondering what exactly was going on, then the door opened without a sound. I thought something big had come to make an appearance. Stared for a moment that they come to retrieve me from my rather short life. It almost made me wonder if I hadn't actually stepped into the music room from the movie where Salieri goes to Mozart to the mission of Requiem. What? Is that a reference to some old people thing that I'm going to question once then how some random Japanese high schooler knows? Like feud? Was it big at the time? And Hip Hop the Kids? A movie about Salieri going to Mozart to the mission of Requiem? That just seems questionable to why that's brought up there. As she delivered her signature ellipsis, Yuki Nagoro entered the room with a paler face than usual. Only her face was visible. Everything else was covered in black. What's ellipsis? What? It sounds like the like a grammatical symbol. Ellipsis. Yeah, punctuation mark. Yeah. Oh. Oh, it's really saying they entered with the ellipsis. Ellipsis? I don't actually say that. I wasn't the only one at a loss for words. Haruhi and Asahina were the same. Suzumi's smile had a hint of surprise tacked on like a tax. Nagoro garbed in clothing strange enough to startle Asahina. Her body was wrapped in a mantle as dark as a blackout. Her head was covered by a wide-brimmed pointy hat of the same color. She looked like a vampire hunter, or maybe the Grim Reaper. As we watched, Nagoro silently headed to her designated seat in the corner, withdrew her bag and a hardcover book from under her mantle, and set them on the table. And completely ignoring our shock, she began reading her book. Apparently, it was a costume for her class's fortune-telling convention. That's what I gathered from Nagoro's short responses to Haruhi, who was the first one to recover and issue a rapid string of questions. Nagoro's class must have had an extremely resourceful and talented stylist to make Nagoro wear such a jolly costume. In any case, if she walked here from her classroom in this monk-like getup, did it mean that this was supposed to be Nagoro's way of competing with Asahina? She made guessing what Haruhi was thinking look easy. An unpleasant silence hung over the room. Only Haruhi looked like she was really happy. Yuki, now you understand! Yes, that's it! Nagoro slowly turned to look at Haruhi before returning to her book. That costume is perfect for what I had in mind. Let the people put you in that know later. I want to wire them a message to show my appreciation. and Henry is here to show his appreciation by whacking with some blunt stills. Alright. Don't. If someone were to receive a message of congratulations from Haruhi, that person would probably be suspect of some kind of touch and end up being scared of his own shadow. You need to take an objective look at how other people view you. Haruhi looked to be in high spirits as she hummed the Turkish march while opening her bag and withdrawing a stack of photocopy sheets. She quickly passed them out, looking like Kintaro after wrestling down a black bear? Look at these references. Kintaro, a golden boy, raises Yama Uba, a child, a very strong child, friendly with animals, of catching shooting doji. Terror of region mount follower of Minamoto no Yori Mishu under new name Sakata no Teen Toy. Cover figure in Banraku and Kabuki drama. Based on legend. Where's the bear? Trickcraft bear. Okay, beating bears and sumo wrestling, helping local woodcutters fell trees. Wow. Okay, is he in Fate Round Order? FGO. Sure. Wait, you see that biker dot? Oh. Wait, I don't want images that just showing a random forearm die. When I put FGO specifically, it was on the Type Moon Wiki. Yeah, it's this die. First I read an event story where he popped up. What the hell was Heavenly King? Alright. And then the next thing was, I was just looking at that one movie, Turkish March. I'm just about to listen to that real quick. It was that song? Really? Oh man. Also, I couldn't play it on here because even though these are old songs, royalty free, people would do their rendition of it and copyright that. So whenever there's like a classical song on YouTube, it'll be copyrighted by some random person who also made a cover of it, because it's the same song, probably played on a similar or the same type of instrument. It was being trained by other people. When if you dove to like a royalty free one, like no, this is actually copyrighted one because this person covered the song on the same type of instrument. Oh no, copyrighted. Thanks, YouTube. Alright. What's that? Tier 1 to 2 Eco Diff. Let's select a theme pack now. Okay, let's resume now that we're in a theme pack. Haruhi looked to be in high spirits as she... Not having much choice, I turned my eyes to a sheet of paper. The following passage was scribbled across the page. Combat Waitress! Adventures of Meursault as the Hina. Dramatis Passionate Meursault as Hina. Combat Waitress. In the future, Izumi Tozumi, Boy Esper, Yuki Nagoto, Evil Alien, Extras Passerby. Yeah, that's just, yeah. As her level of intuition transcended more disbelief. Or did she hit the mark without even trying? I'm starting to wonder if she's just feigning ignorance. What's with her sharp senses that only work at odd intervals? As I stood stunned, I was brought back to the real world by a sound of chuckling next to me. The only person with that kind of laugh would be Tozumi. Well, this is quite... I envy how you seem to be enjoying yourself. What should I say? Just as one would expect. Indeed, the casting seems quite appropriate for Suzumiya. It's wonderful. Don't smile at me. It creeps me out. Then was reading the sheet of paper, clutched in her slender, violently trembling hands. A soft cry escaped from her mouth. She turned to me with eyes seeking salvation. Except upon a closer look, her eyes seemed very sad, even reproachful, like a kind, slightly older female relative scolding a young child whose prank had gone too far. Oh, I remember, that's right. After the incident 6 months earlier, I revealed the true identity to Haruhi. Wow. And now this is, don't influence the testing. Wow. I leave the room. Alright, we're in a, well, it's been like 2 weeks actually. We resume at... Trap! Is this my fault? I frantically spun to look at Nagoro, the human contact purpose humanoid interface clad in a black mantle and black hat. She was silently reading her book. I see no problems with consequence, Kazumi later asserted optimistically. Wait. I failed to see the humor in this situation. While these circumstances may not invite humor, there is no need for pessimism. How do you know? For the simple reason that this is merely casting for a movie. Suzumiya does not actually believe that I am a boy esper. I only played a role of a boy esper named Itsuki Tozumi within the fictional context of the movie. Tozumi sounded like a tutor talking to a pupil with a really bad memory. You can say that the Itsuki Tozumi that exists in reality, myself, and that everyone maximum sanity from that team? So I did my obsession? Yeah. Alright, so now for the actual team. Captain, 3-up agent, level 4. Take the level 3s, and then the level 2s. Actually, you know what? Maybe take Faust. Okay. Probably not take Faust. They're sort of they had the debuffs, but it's not really needed. Transport plus 2 when shielded. Hongus is the better option over Faust. Maybe this teleport. Okay, maybe not. Maybe if they Faust is to do like charge WAV, because they got was a multi-track and ring now. So they add like a WAV support like charge for Faust. That would probably make them more viable. But Dimension Shredder over here. For the fragile, it seems better for what the. Oh, I should probably actually get their SP up. Oh, never mind. I have to put them on the team anyway. Alright. In this particular Itsuki are entirely different people. Nobody would confuse a character in a movie with the actor playing the role, right? Even if someone out there were to get the two mixed up, that person would not necessarily be Suzumiya. That's not very reassuring. There's no guarantee that what you are saying is right. If she were for mixing reality and fiction, then our world would have become the stuff of fantasy long ago. As I mentioned before, Suzumiya is still a person who can think rationally. I know that. But since Haruhi's rational reasoning is half possessed, I have been dragged into many bizarre incidents. And Haruhi, the key to all of this, doesn't have a clue about what's happening around her. For we must not allow her to discover any evidence of what is happening. Azumi continued calmly. There may come a time when we have no choice but to reveal the truth, but not now. Fortunately, Asahina's faction and Negato's faction are of the same opinion. I would prefer that the current situation never change. So would I. I don't want to watch the world turn into a huge mess. It can't happen until I've beaten the game that comes out next week, or I'll have lingering regrets. Kazumi was still smiling. You should worry less about the world and be more concerned with your own safety. Nagoro and I can probably be replaced, but you have no understudy. I took care not to let these feelings of frustration affect me and pretend to be engrossed in pressurizing the gun I now had back in my hands. Haruhi called it a day after assigning Asahina her costume and announcing the task. Side more. Okay, when ready. Actually, she apparently wanted to drag Asahina around in a righteous outfit and hold a press conference for the upcoming film. But since Asahina was seriously on the verge of tears, I made Haruhi give up on that idea. It's not like this high school has a journalism club, news club, or advertising club to begin with. Once I brought that up, Haruhi's lips pouted into waterfowl status. I suppose you're right. Amazingly enough, she agreed. It's better to keep the details under wraps until the very last second, John. That's rather clever of you. We can't have people ripping us off. This idea isn't exactly at the level of a Hollywood or Hong Kong film. Who would want a storyboard that's still bubbling in your mind? So, John, have the gun ready for use within the day. Filming starts tomorrow. You also need to learn how to use the camera. Ah, that's right! You'll need to move the video data from the camera to the computer and do the editing. to pirate the necessary software. Also, once Haruhi had finished dumping a load of assignments on me, she left while humming the theme from The Great Escape. Wait, just people still like pirate like those softwares? Because there's already like plenty of what do you call it, open source ones. Like I use Turita, and I'd probably find an open source video editor too if I just look. So I don't need to go and torrent a pirated version of something. I just, oh hey, he's an open source one. I'll take that. Maybe someone who actually knows more of his programs. Because remember, I don't use video editing software. I use Microsoft Photos. And that is just, I don't edit anything. I just usually use the split tool to like cut out specific like errors, or it's like, oh, I messed up there. I'll just cut that out real quick. Dude, it's on. And that's it. Or adding those 3D effects. I remember I was talking about the upright jerk execution method. They had a 3D effects thing. It's added explosions. That's like the upright jerkers execution method from I forgot the years. I have a YouTube short about it if you don't want to watch the Tension Impact video that it originated from the joke. Oh man. Does Mondstadt have the upright jerker execution method? I don't know. Hell's Chicken? Hell's Chicken. Was it that Rupture thing? Because we can build Rupture sub, I guess. Also, we have to swap out someone. Then we did the chicken. You know what? Subtle. Actually, no, it's not nothing. Did the trash power. Play it safe here, alright? We'll take that one. There's 2 options. So we'll swap out Hongwu for Faust real quick. I did buy the Fusion Ego Dift. So I'm not going to take Warp Express for this. Even though I said, okay, no. I originally was going to do a burn team 2 weeks ago. Just so very my old speedruns as burn teams. But now I had an idea because where we left off in the Bible was actually where they were escaping from Egypt. So I thought, we left Haruhi escapes from Egypt on a warp train. Excellent video idea for like this title and thumbnail. So that's what we're going to do. I have the W Corp team with Haruhi Suzumiya added on to a 7-minute video from before, and then after floor 3 we will swap to the Bible for like a 4, I guess, and now with the official Fraction Railway Pack or something. Didn't matter if she was in a good mood or a bad mood. She was always causing trouble for other people, honestly. Which is why I was turning face to face with another die, Tozumi, struggling to make the model gun shoot BBs, with reference to the instruction manual. Once Asahina finished changing, she left with sagging shoulders. Nagoro, still dressed like a witch invited to a sabbath, went off somewhere without her bag. As Nagoro had only time to show us her costume. Based on her record, there may have been some kind of significance in that action, or she's just showing her face in the club room. She's probably doing something in her trash room at this moment, like practicing fortune telling for crystal ball or whatever. I got the impression that the level of commotion in the stool was slightly increasing on a day-to-day basis. Each time I heard the wind assemble pressing after stool, the trappy horns made fewer mistakes. Okay, what's this? Okay, take that hard note. Then we did it from here. I don't know. There are also people tutting up Wiener and balsa wood in the shadows of the courtyard, and a growing number of people are dressed in odd costumes like Nagotos. But this was just a festival at a plain old prefectural high school. I expected as a total festival without anything extreme or out of the ordinary, as far as I could see. Maybe half the student body hadn't given up on working hard to make this a fun festival. Incidentally, our trash. Twats. Okay, just woke up. What did I eat when I woke up? I had some instant noodles. Okay, instant noodles for breakfast is not a good thing, alright? But yeah, there's some ones on sale with $1 per pack. Never pay more than $1 per pack for instant noodles, alright? Since these are like those, yeah, the expensive ones are $1 per pack, alright? I just threw in, what did I throw in? Oh yeah, frozen green peas. I threw in like 2 parts of green onion. I don't know. I didn't even bother ripping it into smaller parts. I just threw in the entire thing. And some frozen like pork, we call it wonton, dumpling, whatever they are. Done them on clearance like a while ago. I have to finish them all. Oh. Yeah, okay, that's not very much. I don't have any mushrooms anymore, so I can't throw those in. Yeah, but usually throwing in, just for a quick, and just throwing in like some frozen vegetables or mixed vegetables is always like a simple thing you just do. Of course, I only have green peas now. I should probably see if there's any on sale today. So I'm walking back up to some stores. Oh man, I have some new books as well I could be reading. Like I could start reading some Star Wars, or I believe Conan the Barbarian, or it's Conan the Outcast. I'm pretty sure it's from that Conan like franchise, which is mostly known for just Conan the Barbarian. I think. I'm not too sure. I don't know. I drive it said Conan the Outcast. Doesn't make a joke about Dregger. Alright. So I can also read that. Have some Star Wars ones as well. I have 2 out of 3 of the Thrawn trilogy, got some other duology, and some other random ones. I'm currently reading through one where, oh, the Jabbas are making a super weapon now. Okay. These are all like, yeah, it's all not canon stuff. It's just all this like random stuff that is made up for selling books because it was popular in the old days. That franchise is on downhill, I guess. As far as I see, maybe half the student body hadn't given up on 1-5 had just given up on having fun. Period. The ones who weren't in a cultural club would probably be bored that day. And here we had 2 people who could each represent the Go Straight Home After School Club, Tanaduchi and Tunikita. Why is my computer making noises? Adobe Acrobat should not be that damaged computer. Maybe the malicious Toho 6 I played earlier today must have been the cause. It had to have been Toho 6. It had to have been. Damn you, Moria Shrine. Okay. Microsoft Edge WebView 2. What? Okay, so apparently Adobe opens that. I was not. Oh, here's the Rupture Chicken. I got confused as the user. Like, wait, that shouldn't be open. Why is Edge View 2? Oh, it's like, oh, Adobe's using it. Man, I still have to figure out how to do whatever Adobe like synchronization thing that keeps booting up every time I boot up my computer. That should not be there. I did not consent to having that open. Okay, still for more weeps, honestly. Because it doesn't have like the forced like animation thing, so that makes it better than having the still free. I feel like. Okay. Will I be building Poise? No. Still for more Rupture, I guess. Not very much I could do here, I guess. Let's just leave the shop. Okay, I need more toss. Let's go destroy Papa Bongy real quick. Okay. Where was I? Speaking of Totoro festivals, Tanaduchi said. I'm 13th of using Tanaduchi and Tunikita. I do not know what they look like, and they're basically like interchangeable characters, okay? I don't think they're not important enough for me to remember, I feel like. Maybe later they may have some importance, but I do not know the difference between the 2 of them. I'll be saying that here right now. Maybe I should start. No, I know the anime adaptation is out of order. So I might get spoilers if I watch episode 1, or maybe I have to find like on Wikipedia if they say which episode is based on like which book. To figure out, okay, what do Tanaduchi and Tunikita look like, and even actually some differences on their actions if I go to the adaptation. They didn't change. Okay, maybe I should just search it up. Okay, the Sweet Culture Festival, Tanaduchi said. It was lunchtime. These 2 big characters and I were surrounded by box lunches. Speak of Totoro festivals, Tunikita shot back. Tanaduchi had a sickening smirk on his face, and couldn't even hold a candle to the refined Tozumi smile. It's a super event. Don't talk like Haruhi. Tanaduchi's smirk was abruptly wiped from his face, but it got nothing to do with me. It pisses me off. Why? Tunikita asked. The sight of people having fun when I'm not really annoys me, especially if it's a boy-girl couple. Gives me homicidal urges. What? Not a problem with that? So Tanaduchi, is quite messed up. I suppose this is what you would call blind rage. And what's with our class? A survey? Boring. It's probably just involve asking people what their favorite color is, right? Where's the fun in gathering that information? Then why didn't you throw out your brilliant idea? That might have prevented Haruhi from mentioning anything about movies. Tanuchi swallowed a lunch wiener in one gulp. I never say anything that would give me work to do. Well, I might say something, but I don't want to end up being put in charge of the mess. Tunitaida voices agreement as he took a break from cutting his rolled omelet. Okay, offense level, defense level, offense level, take this. Oh, I should just throw the bleed on there for no reason. I just chow from fast though. The only people who are going to raise their hands, open their mouths in this situation are those who are easily influenced or have a strong sense of responsibility. If only Asakura were still here. Yeah. He threw out the name of our former classmate who had moved to Canada. I break into a cold sweat every time I hear her name. Nagoro may have been the one who erased Asakura, but I was the reason it happened. Of course, if Nagoro hadn't done anything, I would have been erased. So there isn't any point in feeling bad about it. Yeah, this was a waste, Tanjuchi said. This had to be my A+ who transferred. I'm really down on my luck. She was the only good thing about being in this class. Damn. Wonder if they'll let me change classes at this point. Which class would you want? Tunitida asked. Nagoro's class? Oh, speaking of which, I saw her walking around in some kind of wizard getup yesterday. What's up with that? Beats me. I sure don't know. Nagoro, huh? Tanjuchi turned to me with a look on his face, like he just found out about a pop quiz in math. He sounded like he had just remembered something. When was that again? At the time the two of you were all tangled up in the classroom. That was probably just something scripted by Suzumiya. Or something that seemed to surprise me, right? Ain't happening. I was feeling rather relieved that he arbitrarily misunderstood the whole affair. Wait! Can you come back that Attractive did something you've forgotten? How could we have possibly known that you would show up? But naturally... wait. I didn't voice this sentiment. Tanaduchi was an idiot. An idiot. He was an idiot. Served no purpose. Good thing he was an idiot. I should be thankful. At any rate, the sure is boring. Tanaduchi lamented while Tunitida concentrated on his box lunch. I looked behind me. Haruhi's desk was empty. Well now, I wonder where Haruhi was marching at that moment. Alright, put Honglu back on the team. I was looking for a good filming location around Stool, Haruhi told me. But I totally couldn't find one. I suppose we won't be able to shoot it around here after all. Let's head out. Maybe she didn't like the Stool atmosphere. But the fact that there wasn't an exciting sport around was no reason to expand effort on an expedition in some sort of search of pizzazz. Apparently her goal was to turn this into some kind of fiasco. Huh? Am I going too? Asahina voiced her fury in a mournful tone. Of course! We didn't do anything without the star. In these clothes? Asahina was balled up, trembling in the waitress costume Haruhi bought yesterday. Yep, that's right. Haruhi nodded readily. Asahina hugged herself with a reluctant look on her face. Isn't it a pain to keep getting changed? Besides, there still might not even be a place for you to change there. So you might as well go. No, you might as well just wear it the whole time. Right? Right! Come on, let's go, everybody! No, let's go! Everybody! Please let me wear something over? I said, please, I was met with no. It's so embarrassing! It's only embarrassing if you let yourself feel that way. You never win a golden globe like that. Are we trying to win first place at Total Festival Best Event Poll? All of the brigade members were assembled in the club room. Suzumi had apparently settled the issues of the script for his class play and was currently watching Haruhi and Asahina's one-sided exchange. Nagoro was also there, and there was a little problem involving Nagoro. She was always silent, so I didn't really have any comments regarding that, but she was dressed rather oddly. For some reason, she was once again wearing the witch outfit she had sewn us yesterday. You don't need to wear it on the day of the festival. Why are you already on standby in the costume? Haruhi was apparently quite pleased from the Nodo's black mantle and pointy hat. I'll change your character to an evil alien magician! And she was already changing the script. Haruhi looked quite satisfied from Nagoro holding an antenna-like pointer with what looked like a star off a Christmas tree attached to the tip. As I watched Nagoro dripping the wand, I was finding it hard to argue against a closed-mouthed book lover being an exponential evil magician. Seemed to fit her character a lot more than being a terminal for data life forms. She definitely possessed magic-like powers. I'd seen it myself, no doubt about it. Nagoro unexpectedly raised the brim of her hat and looked at me with her usual lifeless eyes. I doubt that it would be okay for Haruhi to arbitrarily use some other class's costume in her movie, but her eyes were utterly devoid of hesitation. Alright, we're going to finish up till this part here, and then we'll swap to the Bible. We're also fighting Nelly now. Alright. Get some charge up first, see song before you use that. Okay, get the invade off. I don't know. Oh, didn't even. Okay. John, get the camera ready. Kazumi, you tear the stuff over there. Maruku, why are you clinging to the desk? Come on, get a move on. As Hana's feeble resistance lasted only a moment, Haruhi grabbed the weak waitress by the collar and dragged the stewing little girl to the door. Nagoro followed with the hem of her mantle dragging on the floor. Kazumi was the last to disappear into the hallway after winking at me. As I was wondering if I would have to deal with them, hey, we can't film a movie without the camera, man! Haruhi's torso stuck through the open door. Her open mouth took up about half of her face as she shouted. I noticed about, where was I? Alright. I noticed that the band on Haruhi's left arm now read Great Director, which only served to depress me. Looks like she's serious. And we'll stop here at page 54, at the self-proclaimed something. I should probably pause here. We are now in the Bible! We return to Exodus 10, a plague of locusts. Then the Lord said to Moses, return to Pharaoh and make your demands again. I have made him his officials stubborn, so I can display my miraculous signs among them. I've also done it so you can tell your children and grandchildren about how I made a mockery of the Egyptians and about the signs I displayed among them. And so you will know that I am the Lord. No. Okay, let's pick a pack real quick too while we're here. Secret hearts. I'm missing like a tier 2 charge I need for this stuff. There, take that one. Okay, let's take. So Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and said, "This is what the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, says. How long will you refuse to submit to me? Let my people go, so they can worship me. If you refuse, watch out, for tomorrow I'll bring a swarm of locusts on your country. They will cover the land so that you won't be able to see the ground. They will devour what little is left of your crops after the hailstorm, including all the trees growing in the fields. They will overrun your houses and the houses of your officials, and all the houses of Egypt. Never in the history of Egypt have your ancestors seen a plague like this one." And with that, Moses turned and left Pharaoh. Pharaoh's officials now came to Pharaoh and appealed to him. "How long will you let this man hold us hostage? Let the men go to worship the Lord, their God. Don't you realize that Egypt lies in ruins?" So Moses and Aaron were brought back to Pharaoh. "All right," he told them, "go and worship the Lord your God. Who exactly will be doing with you?" Moses replied, "We will all go, young and old, our sons and daughters, and our flocks and herds. We must all join together and so bring a festival to the Lord." Pharaoh retorted, "The Lord will certainly need to be with you if I let you take your little ones. I can see through your evil plan." "Never!" Only the men may go and worship the Lord, since that is what you requested. And Pharaoh threw them out of the palace. Then the Lord said to Moses, raise your hand over the land of Egypt, and bring on the locusts. Let them cover the land, and devour every plant that survived the hailstorm. So Moses raised his staff over Egypt, and the Lord caused an east wind to blow over the land. And that day, and through the night, when morning arrived, the east wind had brought the locusts, and the locusts swarmed over the whole land of Egypt, settling in dense swarms from one end of the country to the other. It was the worst locust plague in Egyptian history, and there has never been another one like it. For the locusts covered the whole country in darkness, and darkened the land. They devoured every plant in the fields and all the fruit on the trees that had survived the hailstorm. Not a single leaf was left on the trees and plants throughout the lands of Egypt. Pharaoh quickly summoned Moses and Aaron. I have sinned against the Lord your God and against you, he confessed. Forgive my sin just this once, and plead with the Lord your God to take away this death from me. So Moses left Pharaoh's court and pleaded with the Lord. The Lord responded by shifting the wind, and a strong west wind blew the locusts into the Red Sea. Not a single locust remained in all the land of Egypt, but the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart again, so he refused to let the people go. A plague of darkness. Then the Lord said to Moses, lift your hand toward heaven, and the land of Egypt will be covered with a darkness so thick you can feel it. Moses lifted his hand to the sky, and a deep darkness covered the entire land of Egypt for 3 days. During all that time, the people did not see each other, and no one moved. But there was light as usual where the people of Israel lived. No, it's Israel. It's W. That's why I searched up online. It was W. Israel. No, way. Israel. I can't say that. Finally, the Pharaoh called for Moses. Go and worship the Lord, he said, but leave your flocks and herds here. You may even take your little ones with you. No, Moses said, you must provide us with animals for sacrifices and burnt offerings to the Lord our God. All our livestock must go with us. 2. Not a hoof can be left behind. We must choose the sacrifices for the Lord our God from among these animals. And we won't know how we are to worship the Lord until we get there. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart once more, and he would not let them go. Get out of here! Pharaoh shouted at Moses. I'm warning you, never come back to see me again. The day you see my face, you will die! Very well, Moses replied. I will never see your face again. So it's 51. No. These pages are always hard to turn in this Bible. It's like a very thin one. I wonder if you can hear my computer on the microphone or not. It's like really loud right now with the fans. Death for Egypt's firstborn, 11. Then the Lord said to Moses, I will strike Pharaoh and the land of Egypt with one more blow. After that, Pharaoh will let you leave this country. In fact, he will be so eager to get rid of you, he will force you all to leave. Tell all the Israelite men and women to ask their Egyptian neighbors for articles of silver and gold. Now, the Lord... okay, let me skip to the next stage first. Encoding overload. Encoding overload. I know, now something, right? Now the Lord had caused the Egyptians to look favorably on the people of Israel. And Moses was considered a very great man in the land of Egypt, respected by Pharaoh's officials and the Egyptian people alike. Why did he wait so long? What's the point of like all those plagues then? Oh yeah, his miraculous. He actually already said this. It's to have his miraculous signs be stories. Oh yeah, that. Sort of messed up. Okay. Oh. Moses had announced to Pharaoh, "This will be what the Lord says. At midnight tonight, I'll pass through the heart of Egypt. All the firstborn sons will die in every family in Egypt, from the oldest son of Pharaoh, who sits on his throne, to the oldest son of his lowliest servant girl, who grinds the flour. Even the firstborn of all the livestock will die." Then a wild wail will rise throughout the land of Egypt, a wail like no one has heard before or will ever hear again. But among the Israelites, it will be so powerful that not even a dog will bark. Then you will know that the Lord makes a distinction between the Egyptians and the Israelites. All the officials of Egypt will run to me and fall to the ground before me. "Please leave!" they will beg. "Hurry and take all your followers with you." Only then will I go. Then, burning with anger, Moses left Pharaoh. Now the Lord had told Moses earlier, "Pharaoh will not listen to you. But then I will do even more mighty miracles in the land of Egypt." Moses and Aaron performed these miracles in Pharaoh's presence, but the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he wouldn't let the Israelites leave the country. The first Passover, 12. While the Israelites were still in the land of Egypt, the Lord gave the following instructions to Moses and Aaron. "From now on, this month will be the first month of the year for you. Announce to the whole community of Israel that on the 10th day of this month, each family must choose a lamb or a young goat for a sacrifice, one animal for each household. If a family is too small to eat a whole animal, let them share from another family in the neighborhood. Divide the animal according to the size of each family and how much they can eat. The animal you select must be a 1-year-old male, either a sheep or a goat, with no defects. Take special care of this chosen animal until the evening of the 14th day of the first month. And the whole assembly of the community of Israel must slaughter the lamb or young goat at twilight. They are to take some of the blood and smear it on the sides and top of the door frames of the houses where they eat the animal. That same night, they must roast the meat over a fire and eat it along with bitter salad, greens, and bread made without yeast. Do not eat any of the meat raw or boiled in water. The whole animal, including the head, legs, and internal organs, must be roasted over a fire. Do not leave any of it until the next morning. Burn whatever is not eaten before next morning. These are your instructions for eating this meal. Be fully dressed. Wear your sandals and carry your walking stick in your hand. Eat the meal with urgency, for this is the Lord's Passover. On that night I will pass through the land of Egypt and strike down every firstborn son and firstborn male in the land of Egypt. I will execute judgment against all the gods of Egypt, for I am the Lord! But the blood on your doorpost will serve as a sign, marking the houses where you are staying. When I see the blood, I will pass over you. This plague of death will not touch you when I strike the land of Egypt. It's a day to remember. Each year, from generation to generation, you must celebrate it as a special festival to the Lord. This is a law for all time. For 7 days, the bread you eat must be made without yeast. On the first day of the festival, remove every trace of yeast from your homes. Anyone who eats bread made with yeast during the 7 days of the festival will be cut off from the community of Israel. On the first day of the festival, and then on the 7th day, all the people must observe an official day for holy assembly. No work of any kind may be done on these days except in the preparation of food. Celebrate this festival of unleavened bread, for it will remind you I brought your forces out of the land of Egypt on this very day. This festival will be a permanent law for you. Celebrate this day from generation to generation. The bread you eat must be made without yeast, from the evening of the 14th day of the first month until the evening of the 21st day of that month. During those 7 days, There must be no trace of yeast in your homes. Anyone who eats anything made of with yeast during this week will be cut off from the community of Israel. These regulations apply both to the foreigners living among you and to the native-born Israelites. During those days, you must not eat anything made with yeast. Wherever you live, eat only bread made without yeast. Now Moses called all the elders of Israel together and said to them, "Go and pick out a lamb or young goat for each of your families, and slaughter the Passover animal. Drain the blood into a basin. Then take a bundle of hyssop branches and dip it into the blood. Brush the hyssop across the top and sides of the door frames of your houses, and no one may go out through the door until morning." Oh, I accidentally spilled water on my Bible while trying to get the last drops of water from my bottle. So I put another paper towel there. Okay. Let us resume at... For the Lord will pass through the land to strike down the Egyptians. When he sees the blood on the top and sides of your doorframe, the Lord will pass over your home. He will not permit his death angel to enter your house and strike you down. Remember, these instructions are a permanent law that you and your descendants must observe forever. When you enter the land the Lord has promised to give you, you will continue to observe this ceremony. Then your children will ask, "What does this ceremony mean?" And you'll reply, "It's a Passover sacrifice to the Lord. He passed over the house of the Israelites in Egypt, and though he struck the Egyptians, he spared our families." When Moses had finished speaking, all the people bowed down to the ground and worshipped. Oh, water. Remember these. So the people of Israel did just as the Lord had commanded, through Moses and Aaron. And that night, at midnight, the Lord struck down all the firstborn sons in the land of Egypt, from the firstborn son of Pharaoh, who sat on his throne, to the firstborn son of the prisoner in the dungeon. Even the firstborn of their livestock were killed. Pharaoh and all his officials and all the people of Egypt woke up during the night, and loud wailing was heard throughout the land of Egypt. There was not a single house where someone had not died. Israel's exodus from Egypt. Pharaoh sent for Moses and Aaron during the night. "Get out!" he ordered, "with my people, and take the rest of the Israelites with you. Go and worship the Lord as you have requested. Take your flocks and herds, as you said, and be gone. Go, but bless me as you leave." All these things urged the people of Israel to get out of the land as quickly as possible, for they thought they will all die. So let me get this straight. So remember, God has said that he is the one who made the guy's heart harden, so he would let them go. And so he saw off more miraculous signs, which also involved slaughtering the firstborn of every Egyptian. So he wanted that to happen the entire time, and he purposely made it so that he would get a chance to slaughter the firstborns of the Egyptians. Does that sound a bit messed up to you? Where he, the entire time he was wanting to do that, basically? Damn, Bible goes insane, man. Alright. The Israelites took their bread dough before yeast was added. They wrapped their kneading boards in their cloaks and carried them on their shoulders. And the people of Israel did as Moses had instructed. They asked the Egyptians for clothing and articles of silver and gold. The Lord caused the Egyptians to look favorably on the Israelites, and they gave Israelites whatever they asked for, because they stripped the Egyptians of their wealth. That night, the people of Israel left the Ramesses and started for Succoth. There were about 600,000 men, plus a lot of women and children, along with great flocks and herds of livestock. For bread they baked flat cakes from the dough without yeast they had brought from Egypt. It was made without yeast because people were driven out of Egypt in such a hurry that they had no time to prepare the bread or other food. The people of Israel had lived in Egypt for 430 years. In fact, it was on the last day of the 430th year that all of the Lord's forces have left the land. On this night, the Lord kept his promise to bring his people out of the land of Egypt. So this night belongs to him, and it must be commemorated every year by all the Israelites from generation to generation. Alright, and we'll do the last part here, instructions for the Passover, and then we'll end at 13. It says, now they've left Egypt, so the thumbnail and title can work now. Haruhi leaves Egypt on a warp train. Okay, so I find that like really funny for some reason. Base power or final power? Base power, I guess. I want to take the damage taken in doubt. Now for the final floor. I don't want to take... I'll just finish this right here before we go into the Suzumiya stage. Then the Lord said to Moses and Aaron, these are the instructions for the festival of Passover. No outsiders are allowed to eat the Passover meal, or any slave who has been purchased may eat if he has been circumcised. Temporary residents and hired servants may not eat. Each Passover lamb must be eaten in one house. Do not carry any of its meat outside, do not break any of its bones. The whole community of Israel must celebrate this Passover festival. If there are foreigners living among you who want to celebrate the Lord's Passover, let all their males be circumcised. Only then may they celebrate the Passover with you, like any native-born Israelite. But no uncircumcised male may ever eat the Passover meal. This instruction applies to everyone, whether a native-born Israelite or a foreigner living among you. So all the people of Israel followed all the Lord commands to Moses and Aaron. All the Lord commands to Moses and Aaron. On that very day, the Lord brought the people of Israel out of the land of Egypt like an army. The dedication of the firstborn 13 of Exodus will resume later. Maybe I'll do probably another Haruhi. I have to do, we still have to beat Haruhi Volume 2 before I move on to other novels. And maybe I might do a book review. I'm assuming this is going to be the Blood Fiends and the Rose. So it's Rust and Wrath weakness. Some water here. Actually, wait, I don't even need to record this for the thing. Oh no, it's just going to be, what was this one? The bullet one, I think? Is this the bullet one? I think it is. Yeah, Wrath. Okay. I don't have to record this gameplay part anyway. It was like longer to export actually. So I'll stop here. I've been Wavdium. Bye. Alright, we have to okay, that took way too long. Except for I did not like charge. Okay, no, I'm not doing with W-Torp into extreme. Alright, he flipped up the max stats, probably Otis, Ryōshū, Dawn, Song, Hongwoo, Meursault, Faust, and the basement server, Sandy. Okay. And there's the results. And theme packs versus stars. I spent too much star. Yeah, I'm gonna start spending Starlight now. I don't think I need to hoard Starlight. As long as I have more than 1,500, then I'm free to spend whatever I want. Flame those, because they might add more extreme theme packs where it's just in case have enough reserves to buy all the buffs for that. Just to make stuff look quicker, honestly. In any case, I've been Wavdium. Let's just to the menu real quick and check my level. As I have not been doing mirror dungeons like regularly. It's last minute again for the 3rd or 4th week in a row of waiting until the last few hours to do the weekly mirror dungeon. I didn't even trade my dailies when I walked in and did them before. Yeah, I'm just not interested in Limbus Company anymore that much, I guess, at this point. Yeah, new Intervalo, so... And then last Intervalo, I didn't even finish out the shop, and it took me like almost 2 weeks to actually finish reading the story. So, not really much there. Yeah, there'll be new banner, and I have to wait a week. I'm not going to get the nurse fodder yet, because once Heathcliff releases, I can go into Refraction Railway random teams. Because I thought it'd be fun. You know what? If I already know who the Duo is, I'll throw them on the roll, like the wheel, for the random teams, and guess who I got on one of them? I did it for the first team. This was the original team I was supposed to go with. I got Heathcliff. It's like, oh, well, I need a second team anyway. So I wrote a second team. Had, of course, no duo on here, so I didn't have to worry. And then so basically the second team became my main random team, which I did the first 2 sections on. And now for the first section, I have to go to the first random team, but I can't because they haven't released Heathcliff. Because I thought it'd be funny to put him on the wheel. Oh man. And then so that's the third one. Third one will be the original random team. And the fourth one, I have free choice. So I'm going to do some team building between random team 1 and 2. So I feel like that would be more interesting to add some team building aspect to random teams. Like, you have the 2 random teams anyway. Once you're past that where you need the 2 teams, for the next one, why don't you just go with what you have? So use some team building and stuff like that. That's more fun than just, okay, which random team are you going to do? Because I'm already forced to use the second random team for the final one, I believe. So this one is going to be already walked in from the start for the final one. Unfortunately, Heath is going to go instead of Heath. Yeah, but for the maybe it's a mirror attention. Oh yeah, this was it. I was going to be doing this team, but because I want to joke from Haruhi Suzumiya from Egypt on a warp train, I strapped this one and went with the W Torp. This will be the next one. I have the DSE and I have G Torp. It's going to be Sinking Rupture. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the extra back away branch as the only Sinking Rupture as a dual status stuff. All right. I've been
파우스트는 열 차 타는 걸 즐기지 않아요.